312. That iron.
He's right. You would.
Is that what you think of Purification!
A young gamer gets ice skated in another world and gets the name Panties Thief. He has to face off against the Demon Lord with the help of some strange girls. Hello and welcome back to our channel Ice Guy. Today we are going to do a recap of the anime series called Konosuba. Episode 5. Aqua complains about working in the market. She wants to go on a quest, but the quests are still like last time. With the Demon Lord General still around, the quests are still high level. Kazuma, against better judgment, tells Aqua to pick an easy quest. She of course does the opposite, looking at the reward more than the fact a team consisting of a one-use mage, a masochist knight who can't hit anything, a rookie adventurer, and parlor trick goddess would have to kill two dangerous monsters over a land dispute. Kazuma tells her to think again. Aqua picks an easy quest with a good reward. Her overconfidence brims with joy seeing that she just needs to purify a lake. The monsters do not need to be slain, since they will leave once the lake is purified. However, there is a catch. Aqua's purification is not something that can be done in 5 minutes, but half a day, meaning she needs to be guarded from the monsters. Anyway, with Aqua, well, she sits in the cage and complains. The crew, they are a safe distance away. Several hours pass and nothing happens. Well, then the obvious and someone, Megumin, raises a flag, which the alligator monsters then appear and try to eat some goddess up for dinner. Aqua, freaking out, starts to do her purification spell over and over, and, well, you get the point. After the purification is complete, Aqua has a similar time after the frog monsters. She is traumatized and does not want to leave the cage, even going as so far to tell them to take her to town in the cage, which they do. A hero slaying an ancient dragon with a powerful cursed sword saves the day. Him and the two girls that follow him are well experienced. He is Kyoya Mitsurugi, and like Kazuma, he is from another world. He has a cursed sword only he can use. He wishes to be with the lovely goddess that sent him there, in other words, Aqua. Well, of course he happens upon the goddess in a cage. She is also singing the fact she is off to be sold. In a rage, Kyoya breaks the cage. Aqua snaps out of her depression and has no memory of who the Kyoya is. More things happen, mostly Kyoya trying to get Kazuma's group to join him. Well, everyone but Kazuma. He then wants Kazuma to fight to obtain Aqua. Kazuma uses steel in order to gain the guy's sword and rendering him unconscious. Also, Kazuma threatens to use the steel ability on the girls Kyoya was with due to them thinking the fight was unfair. The following day, Kyoya returns wanting his sword back. Aqua punches him for breaking the cage and takes money from him that she lost. Kazuma also reveals he sold the sword for money since he could not use it. Then another alarm goes off. Dullahan returns. He is not pleased no one showed up to his castle. Episode 6. Dullahan introduces himself as Verdia. He is very annoyed by two things, and both of those things were not anyone showing up to his place. The first one being the fact that the explosions on his castle did not stop, which Megumin admitted she did continue. It makes her excited, thus getting that suggestive feature image. The other being annoyed by the fact they let a model knight die. He was talking about Darkness when he said model knight, by the way. Darkness steps forward to reveal she is alive, and Aqua does a taunt that she dispelled it after he left. Aqua used her attack Turn Undead. It was super effective on Verdia. Aqua became confused. She thought it did not work. Aqua tries Sacred Turn Undead. Again it works. Verdia even goes, "Gaw my eyes." Kazuma even responds saying that Verdia said, "Gaw, it hurts." Yet Aqua was still confused. Verdia summons a bunch of undead which is attracted to Aqua like bees to honey, or however that phrase goes. It is believed because she is a goddess and could give the undead salvation. So, while they are running around, Kazuma tells Megumin to prep a spell, which she does the moment they are near Verdia. The spell obviously leaves her down for the count. Verdia is fine, laughs it off. Everyone decides to charge in. Before they can land an attack, Verdia tosses his head up in the air, making an Eye of Sauron sort of thing, and defeats all that go near him. Darkness steps up to take revenge for the fallen comrades. Of course, even with her defense and blocking all the attacks, she even said it in her introduction episode that she cannot land a hit. She does destroy 2 boulders. Then the obvious twisted masochistic fantasies of hers kick in. Kazuma tries his thing while Verdia is distracted and denying these allegations. Kazuma uses Create Water, which Verdia dodged. Kazuma uses a freeze spell, and Verdia breaks free. Kazuma uses Create Water, which each time Verdia dodges, revealing his weakness as water. All the mages in the area use Create Water, which Verdia continues to dodge. Aqua then shows up to comment that they look like they are playing a game and look stupid. Kazuma explains and wants her to use a water spell. Her one condition is taking back her being a useless goddess. Kazuma still calls her that. And to prove him wrong, Aqua uses sacred create water. The water flooded the area, destroying the surrounding parts, which include the town wall. I did forget to mention that Kazuma at one point tried to steal Verdia's weapon. He tries again as Verdia is annoyed and decides to finish this in one more attack. Kazuma ends up stealing Verdia's head. Well, after that, Aqua uses her godly magic to purify him one more time to succeed. With the quest over, and Darkness not getting the shameful experience she wants, the next day everyone is partying. Kazuma is told they will get a reward of 300 million, which he decides to retire and not go after the Demon Lord. However, this idea is cut short since the repair cost is 340 million, putting him into debt. Kazuma accepts it and wishes to defeat the Demon Lord and get out of this twisted world. Episode 7. The episode begins with him in a familiar world like Episode 1 when he passed on. He questions if he really did die and is unsure exactly, although after a few seconds he realized he did. Flashing back some time, Kazuma explains what happened after they beat Verdia. Winter Super
特別指定モンスターの一体
came and his debt piled up more and more, while Kazuma is annoyed by his debt, and Aqua not helping by complaining that Kazuma does not praise her more. He says she is the source of debt and wants to leave. This ongoing battle happens for a short time, Kazuma mentioning he nearly freezes to death at night. However, now that Verdia is defeated, the quests are plentiful. Even more so since anyone who helped fight Verdia got a reward which will last them through winter. So, the group decides to go on a quest. A slight hint of what the final boss in this arc will be, the group goes on a quest to hunt snow sprites. Kazuma is a little suspicious since Darkness is a little too excited for the fight. The group gets into some winter clothing. Personally, I think Megumin's outfit looks the best of the three girls. Aqua comes in at a close second. Enough about the woman's fashion. The sprite killing goes rather easy. Aqua wants to catch a few to save for later to make the food cold and drinks cold come summertime. For once, her uselessness is thinking ahead, so Megumin decides to do her one-shot, one-kill ultimate super attack, Explosion, which she proudly kills only 8 of the little sprites. She falls into the snow, but without another word a large snowstorm comes. The Winter Shogun, a creature that was brought here and abandoned by someone who was reincarnated. The Winter Shogun does not take to kindly to the killing of the cute fuzzy ball snow sprite. Aqua apologizes for what she did and releases the ones she captured. Darkness gets rather pleased when Kazuma shoves her face in the ground. Although Kazuma is still rather annoyed that Megumin is playing dead, Kazuma goes to throw his weapon aside to apologize, although it is too late and he gets killed. In the present time, Kazuma realized all this. A goddess appears before him and mourns for this death. She is rather kind, and her name is Eris. The name sounds familiar. Well, back in episode 2 when Aqua was trying to make money, the goddess of the word, currency, and all that is Eris. That is the goddess before Kazuma. Eris tells Kazuma will be reborn into a nice, wealthy, and such a pleasant life in Japan. After a few seconds, Kazuma has a teary-eyed thing going, realizing the world he just died in was not so bad, despite all its problems. Just as she prepares Kazuma to go to his now third life in the series, Aqua interferes. She healed his body so he can come back. Eris says people can only be reborn once. She is also referring to Aqua as Senpai. Although much like the line goes, Senpai does not notice her. Aqua insults her and even tells Kazuma to steal her breast pads if she does not let him go. Eris lets him leave. Back in the other world, Kazuma wakes up with the girls surrounding him. They abandon the quest and make their way home. Although realizing there is still the problem with their lack of funds, Kazuma, although annoyed about a lot in this world, is slightly content. Episode 8. Aqua nearly burns Kazuma's tracksuit. After nearly saving it, his last memento from Japan, he takes Aqua to go get him more skills. Enters the lovely undead goddess, Wiz-sama. She is attacked by Aqua for being an undead, but Kazuma puts a stop to the fight. He asks for her help. Wiz reveals she is one of the 8 Demon Lord generals. She protects the Demon Lord's barrier and has not harmed anyone. But Aqua wants to kill her to take the bounty. But because Wiz never hurt anyone, she has no bounty. Kazuma says that if they did kill her to go to the Demon Lord now at their level would be suicide. Wiz also mentions, which saves her life, that if the other generals are defeated she can stop the barrier regardless. Plus the Demon Lord only leaves her alone as long as the barrier is up. So, when asked if she felt anything that Verdia was defeated, she did not care. In fact, Darkness was right and Verdia was a pervert. Kazuma learning skills time. The skill in question is Drain Touch, which basically like a standard RPG game attack where it drains the opponent's HP and magic. Kazuma leans that and the time with Wiz ends sadly. Then the group is allowed to live there thanks to Wiz, since she is apparently a famous magician in the town. so all they have to do is exorcise the spirits. Then over the night, after a few other things happen, dolls appear out of nowhere and try to attack Kazuma, who happens to need to use the restroom. He goes to Aqua's room to get rid of the floating ghost dolls chasing him. Only Megumin is there, with a similar situation. More things happen as they try to escape the dolls. Megumin gets to use the bathroom. More running from the dolls. This entire half was much faster paced and could be explained quickly like this. The two lock themselves in a room. Surrounds Kazuma bursts open the door, accidentally knocking out Aqua. The problems of the haunted mansion were solved. However, it turns out a barrier over the nearby graveyard was to blame. That same graveyard where Aqua was supposed to take over from Wiz to put the restless spirits to rest. So they did not take the money. However, they get to stay in the mansion because the landowner is nice. And that's all for today, guys. If you liked the recap and want more summaries like this, consider subscribing to our channel.